This video applies to the 1997 to 1999 Chevy Astro and GMC Safari. The remote keyless entry system for these years pairs the key fob with the keyless entry door lock module. For 2000 and up, that function is incorporated into the body control module. GM called the keyless entry module by the much fancier name of remote function actuation module. Sounds good, huh? We will also transfer this worn down key fob's chip into a new shell. The keyless entry module is located behind the dash to the left of the radio. You will need to remove the center console, the instrument panel cluster trim plate, and the radio. If you need help removing the trim plate, check out this video by Bentley's Auto Parts. Now, we're going to fast forward to removing the stock radio. At the back of the radio, disconnect the radio antenna. You just pop it right out. Next, disconnect this connector. Hold down on this tab and pull up. After the connectors at the back of the radio are disconnected, hold down these two tabs and pull. There's a better look at those tabs that are holding the radio in place. Just push down on them and pull. Boom, now it's loose. Now we can get the radio out. And this van at one point was flooded. Look at the condition of that bolt right there. Yikes. And we're gonna see further evidence of that right here. Yikes. This van also needs a new radio. So now you have easy access to the two bolts that hold the module in place. To remove the module, use an 8mm socket and extension to remove the bolt that was right there. You don't need a universal joint. There's another bolt right here that's being covered by this connector, and there's a large piece of plastic in the way on this side. So what you would do now is rotate the module, and now you have access to the connector. Use a small pick to open those ears holding down the connector, then pull the connector up. The ears belong to the module, so you can break them on a defective module if you're having trouble opening up both and releasing the connector. With the connector out of the way, use an 8mm wrench to loosen the other bolt a few turns. Only a few turns. Once you do, you can slide the module off without fully removing that bolt. Then slide the replacement module into place, snug up the left bolt, snug up the right bolt, and the connector snaps into place. The rest is the reverse of this assembly. This key fob is the actual OEM piece from 1997, and the words have been long worn off. We're going to transfer the chip from this fob to a replacement shell. Use a flathead screwdriver to open from this gap. Pry open from this gap. Then I'm reusing the back half of the cover, keeping the battery in place. Then simply transfer the chip from the old front cover to the new one. Yeah, and get in there. This is the most difficult replacement ever, huh? And there we go. Rejoin the covers. And the fob looks good as new. You can also buy a new key fob that includes a new chip. One thing that I noticed is that the color on a replacement shell is beige, while the color on the new fob is gray. I found that mildly interesting. Mildly interesting. Now, before you assemble the rest of the dash, I would make sure that you can program the key fobs to the new module. Reconnect the negative battery terminal. And now we're gonna jumper pins 4 and 8 at the DLC. The top pins are numbered 1 through 8, going from left to right. So we're going to connect to 4. You should use some really small, big gauge wire. That should work for that. And once you connect 4 and 8, you should hear the doors cycle. There you go, door lock cycled. At this point, you would hold unlock and lock at the same time until you hear the door lock cycle again. It should take about 10 seconds. And there you go, programmed. At this point, grab the other one and do the same thing. Hold it, and there you go. This was about 3 seconds. Make sure the key fobs are working correctly. A telltale sign of a defective keyless entry module is if you hear clicking from the module while operating the key fob. And that's it for this video. Subscribe to show your support for these Astro Safari videos. Have a good day.